Hello, how's it going? We haven't done an update over the last few weeks on what's been changed in the museum, so let's start with that first. Oh, I'm leaning on a Tachyons Plus, one of the first Tachyons Pluses actually, and that's going into the VHS player, which is right here. That's going into a TV and a Vectorscope up here, but we're looking at this in the video today. We'll talk about it in a second. I'm trying to think of things that have been different since we've last spoke over at the museum. That room right here, you see there's a door here. This goes over to the test equipment area. It's still not quite done. So a lot of testing and stuff. I'm testing them whenever I've got a moment. However, there are a few little things, and right now it's just playing on itself, so you can just pop your head in. But if you are planning on coming this week and have a genuine interest in having a go at some of that stuff, then please just notify somebody. I'm sure that you'll be able to go and have a closer look right now. Because right now it's just stopped up to here because it's not all fully sorted out and figured it out. Bordeaux Cosmo is set up and it's still working. It is a little susceptible to the background noise in the place. When it gets very loud, it doesn't quite know when to stop. It's perfectly fine. And also, I don't think I've done the descriptions well enough because a lot of people haven't even realized that Bordeaux Cosmo is talkable, realized that you can talk to it. So I probably need to do a bit more of an instructions on how to do it. I have done instructions, but maybe I'll just make the font bigger. So I've also set up a couple of headphones on the Atari, punk, console, and the Circle Drone of Doom, so people can sit and listen to that. In fact, I've seen a lot of kids just sit and play on those for quite a while, which is great news. And next to those is a very nice refurbished GPO wall mount rotary phone. It's absolutely beautiful, and it means that people can see what's going on in the inside of those things. Also, before tomorrow, there's one more thing I'm going to be putting into this place, and that is going to make the toilet room a bit musical. It's the first step to making the toilet musical, and there'll be more information on a video about that in a couple of days, but I've got to get it put together first. And I'm not sure whether I've mentioned the Wurlitzer Sideman is set up in its own case. You push the button and you can start it off. It's got a relay on there, so you push the button, the relay makes the contact to make the motor run. So it is all running, the valves are all warm, and all that changes is you start and stop the motor. It's proving to be very reliable so far. I found out it's already been recapped recently, so that's quite good news. In bad news, the Elta Music Solar 50 for some reason unexplainably isn't working. I cannot figure out what the problem is. I need to take it apart, but the problem with taking this thing apart is you've got to remove all the knobs, so it's a very time-consuming thing. So I'll have a look at that at some point. It's just a bit of a shame that's had to break down. But what I want to talk about today is this thing. It is Usagi Electronics valve-based Atari punk console. It is somewhat based around the Atari punk console theme, however it is slightly different, and if you check the video, I've included a video below of him making this, and it's really cool. He kindly sent this over about a month ago, but I hadn't done a video yet because I was trying to find some spare 6-volt triode valves to make to replicate the circuit. Finally they've turned up, and they'll be doing a video in the next couple of weeks, because as you can see, this right here, it's a little bit hard to actually display this. Whilst it's absolutely amazing and very usable, in fact, for a museum that is for all ages, it's a little bit troublesome. So this week we'll set up and let a few people play it, because, you know, somebody might smash that into their eyeballs, I don't know. But the plan is to showcase this with a replica next to it that is in a case. Like, you know, a case like this. It will look like that with a clear front on the front, and the knobs are on the front of the case, and then the valves are behind, and it will be all wired point to point on a big, like, ladder thing or something. So that is the plan. So from what I remember, I haven't inspected the circuit massively quite yet, is these are the oscillators, I think, and that is used to amplify. But I'm going to do it slightly differently. I'm going to focus on the oscillators here, and maybe ultimately make a Atari punk console. Who knows? But I thought I should show you how awesome this sounds, because it's got its very own sound. And definitely when you finish watching this video, go and check out Usagi's video on it. He's got loads of really interesting valve-based videos. So yeah, the link is below. So let's change over the mic on the camera and have a little look. So it's on top of a custom wooden case, and it's really quite fun and addictive, much like an Atari punk console. But the biggest difference is, it's tube! Oh, it's a lot of fun. So like I said, now I've got some 6-volters. I'm going to make a replica of this. I'm going to build it into a little case. That might be in the next couple of weeks a video on that, making it, and then maybe if I'm not absolutely god awful at doing that, I'm going to make a Atari, punk, console. It's going to look awesome. If you want to build this yourself, Usagi's actually shared the schematic and stuff like that. It's over on the channel video, so go and check it out. The link is below. And yeah, that's pretty damn awesome. I might wire this up to the telephone lines because it's got a transformer and stuff. That's a pretty good idea, because hopefully by the end of next week, maybe not, yeah, but because hopefully by the end of next week I'll have it all wired up to the internet. I'm going to be doing a few bits of tests over near the end of next week over on Patreon, which I'll try and live stream the telephone exchange, give people the number over on Patreon for them to just test it. Beta testers of wiring the place up to the internet. There's only a couple of synthesizers plugged in so far to the telephone lines. So if you're interested in that, go and check it out over on Patreon. And when I've sorted and got past all the beta testing and testing it out, I'll be able to share the number and tell people when it's online, so people will be able to call in when the museum's open to either listen to things, talk to Bordeaux Cosmo, try and play a synthesizer. That's one of the projects, to do it through the phone line, maybe draw, and all of that kind of stuff. Oh, and also call people up in the museum on the various phones in here. I think I'm really excited for that. I've been talking about that project for the best part of 6 months or so, and it's great to see that it is actually coming together. Anyway, I hope that was entertaining, looking at this and all of the other random malarkeys. Have a lovely time, and if you come in this week, there's plenty of stuff wired in, and yeah, have a lovely, see you later. Toodly-doo.
Welcome to the museum.